Gonna go on the song and say, verbatim, you still hang with them that done got your partner whacked? Okay. So you got 21 Savage on your album, and then 21 Savage get on the album and say, get him smacked, then turn around and give his brother down. So he dissing your partner on your album. Probably said it in the studio with you.
I got Wham and Savage on the phone to stop whatever could have happened with them. I got niggas on the phone.
Imagine the shock. Your best friend, the person you've known since childhood, is tragically killed on the highway. Later, you discover that an alleged acquaintance from the music business was involved in their death. This is the core of what supposedly transpired between Lil Baby and 21 Savage following the murder of Marlo, a story the streets have been actively discussing ever since. Today we're dissecting the claims that 21 Savage masterminded the killing of Lil Baby's closest friend, examining the motive behind targeting Marlo, and how Young Thug was forced to intervene before Atlanta erupted into utter chaos. Stay tuned until the very end, because this situation has far more layers than is publicly known, and I'm about to expose some genuine street politics that will leave you stunned. Let me quickly emphasize the strength of the bond between Baby and Marlo. These men were more than just collaborators or industry acquaintances. They were brothers from the tough neighborhoods who rose up together. Both were raised in Bankhead, one of Atlanta's most notorious areas, sharing an authentic day-one connection rarely seen in the rap world. When they both signed to Quality Control almost simultaneously, it looked like they were destined for dual stardom. But then the story turned tragic. While Baby's career exploded, Marlo's music never gained the same momentum. According to QC's piece, since Marlo's rap earnings couldn't match Baby's income, he remained involved in street life, attempting to keep pace with his friend's expensive lifestyle. Baby made every effort to ensure his success. He secured him a contract, kept him in the studio for hours, featured him on songs, and continually urged Marlo to focus on music instead of street activity. In interviews, you could see Baby's unwavering faith in Marlo's ability and his desperate hope for him to escape the neighborhood legally. However, Marlo was deeply committed to his street ventures. Despite the record deal and Baby's support, he was reportedly still trafficking drugs and managing other enterprises in Bankhead. That refusal to leave street life, even with a way out, is what ultimately led to his tragic end and sparked the conflict with 21 Savage. Now, there's something critical to understand about Marlo that most casual listeners overlook. This wasn't a rapper fabricating a tough image for the cameras or adopting a fake persona. Marlo was legitimately feared and respected in Bankhead long before he ever picked up a microphone. Marlo was affiliated with PFK, Play for Keeps, also known as 3L, which had connections to the Goodfellas mob. His involvement went beyond just moving product. According to various street sources, he was allegedly responsible for carrying out various operations for his crew. Rumor has it that Marlo was involved in eliminating individuals who either crossed him or disrespected his operations. One of the key incidents that put him directly in 2000 Savage's sights was the alleged killing of Capo Nuke. Nuke was no small figure in these circles. He was a high-ranking member of the Goodfellas mob who had just been released after serving significant time. Nuke commanded respect and fear and had serious ties to the 4L crew that 21 Savage is associated with. The story circulating is that Nuke was allegedly romantically involved with Marlo's baby mama, a level of disrespect Marlo was unwilling to tolerate. Consequently, Marlo allegedly made the call, resulting in Nuke's elimination. That action alone sealed Marlo's fate, because Nuke had powerful connections to 21 Savage's inner circle, and his death demanded retaliation in the streets. To truly grasp how this assassination unfolded, you need to understand Baby Drill. His actual name is Del Cristo Wilson, and this young man was eager to establish a reputation both on the streets and in the rap game. Baby Drill was part of 21 Savage's 4L crew, and was known for actively contributing to the crew's operations. Baby Drill was raised within the structure 21 Savage created with 4L. He was a young, devoted enforcer willing to do anything to prove himself to the older members of the crew. When 21 Savage allegedly put a reward out for Marlo's head, Baby Drill saw it as his opportunity to gain massive respect and rise in rank. What makes Baby Drill's involvement even more shocking is how he used the alleged murder to boost his rap career. After Marlo's death, Drill started releasing music where he essentially boasted about the hit. In tracks like 32 Freestyle and records featuring Young Nudie, he referenced dropping the biggest op when he was 17, clearly referring to Marlo. Street reports suggest that on July 11, 2020, as Marlo was leaving the Bankhead reunion, Baby Drill and his crew pursued him onto I-285 and opened fire on his vehicle. Marlo crashed and died at the scene. The unsettling fact is that Baby Drill was later arrested on murder charges in a separate case, confirming that this was not his only alleged killing. To understand why 21 Savage desired Marlo's elimination, you must understand the complex gang dynamics in Atlanta. 21 Savage is aligned with 4L, which includes his Slaughter Gang crew and connects to various blood sets throughout the city. Marlo was linked to PFK, also known as 3L, which had ties to the Goodfellas mob. These two factions were once on good terms. In fact, old footage exists of 21 Savage and Marlo together in the Ninth Ward, appearing friendly and showing love. They were making money together and seemingly respected one another. However, when Marlo allegedly arranged for Capo Nuke's death, the entire relationship fractured instantly. Nuke held significant street respect and had deep connections to 21's associates, meaning his death could not be ignored. The tension quickly escalated as 4L members began to terrorize PFK after Nuke's murder. There were chain snatchings, robberies, and shootings. The younger members of 4L were placing intense pressure on anyone linked to 3L. One of the most prominent casualties in this turf war was Mad Rock, an 18-year-old 4L member known for his active role. Mad Rock was killed in a drive-by shooting, and the streets immediately blamed PFK for the retaliatory strike. This cycle of violence created a path that could only end with major figures being taken out. This is where 21 Savage truly revealed his nature and how deeply personal this whole situation became. Not only did he allegedly arrange Marlo's murder, but he had the astonishing audacity to insult him on Lil Baby's own record. On the track, 21 Savage included references clearly aimed at Marlo, essentially mocking Baby while he grieved his lifelong friend. The fact that 21 Savage felt secure enough to disrespect a dead man on his friend's album shows how certain he was that Baby wouldn't retaliate. It was like he was testing Baby's resolve, checking if he would truly defend his fallen comrade, or just let it slide for the sake of his professional career. This action was particularly cruel because Baby was still coping with the loss of his best friend, and here was 21 Savage effectively bragging about it on Baby's own project. This level of disrespect would normally demand immediate retaliation in the streets, but the complications of industry politics changed everything. Now, imagine being Lil Baby slowly realizing that someone you considered a peer in the industry had arranged the murder of your closest friend. According to people close to the situation, Baby was utterly devastated when he learned of 21 Savage's alleged involvement. The streets say Baby was ready to start a war instantly. He wanted revenge against 21 Savage and the entire 4L crew. But that's where industry politics intervened, as both artists were generating massive income and had powerful label support. What truly hurt Baby was the realization that 21 Savage had been two-faced the entire time. They were collaborating on songs, appearing at events together, all while 21 Savage allegedly knew exactly what happened to Marlo, because he had given the order. Young Thug has consistently promoted unity within the Atlanta music scene. In interviews, he has discussed how he's prevented numerous feuds from exploding in the city, understanding that conflict among Atlanta artists harms everyone financially. When Thug realized the serious tension developing between Baby and 21 Savage, he knew he had to step in before the situation spiraled completely out of control. This wasn't just about two artists having a disagreement. It was about to ignite a full-scale war between major Atlanta crews. Thug brought both Baby and 21 Savage together on a three-way call and basically told them their status was bigger than street beef. He reminded them that Atlanta is supposed to be united, and that the world views Atlanta as a city where rappers support each other, not tear each other down. According to Thug himself, he told them, "Man, you all are brothers. We're not talking about online drama or global events. We're talking about real life. Both of you can speak on any platform and confirm the same thing, that I got both of you on the phone and instructed you to stop this." Even though Thug managed to get them to publicly settle their differences, the streets knew the true story. This is probably why Gunna felt secure enough to call out Baby in his music later on. In one of his songs, Gunna essentially exposed the whole situation by referencing how Baby was associating with someone who done got your partner whacked. That line hit hard because it confirmed the street narrative that Baby was still maintaining ties with 21 Savage. The fact that Baby removed his Instagram post about Marlo just minutes after initially sharing it also raised serious questions. People began wondering if Baby was truly committed to that life or if he was simply going to allow his friend's murder to pass for the benefit of his career and professional connections. One of the clearest indicators that something changed between Baby and the Marlo situation is how he stopped publicly mentioning his deceased friend. Before this information came to light, Baby would consistently post about Marlo on his birthday, death anniversary, and other important dates. He would share memories, old pictures, and ensure Marlo's name lived on via social media. But after the truth about 21 Savage's alleged involvement surfaced, Baby completely stopped posting about Marlo. No more birthday tributes, no more anniversary remembrances, nothing at all. It's as if Marlo disappeared from Baby's public memory, which is shocking given how close they were. This change in behavior was certainly noticed by the streets, as well as by Marlo's family and friends. People started questioning whether Baby genuinely sought justice for his friend or if he was more concerned with protecting his industry relationships and keeping his money flowing. What makes this situation even more complex is how it revealed the harsh political reality of Atlanta's rap scene. You have million-dollar artists who are still tied to street crews that are actively warring with each other. The music business and street life are so deeply entangled that feuds can literally cost lives, but sometimes financial interests outweigh loyalty. Chris Jeremiah and other street commentators have emphasized that this situation severely damaged Baby's reputation in the streets. How can you rap about being loyal and tough when you are friendly with the people who killed your best friend? That was the prevailing question for many in Atlanta. The professional pressure to maintain connections and ensure financial flow often supersedes street justice. Labels, managers, and business associates all have a stake in keeping their artists out of violent disputes because conflict is bad for business. So, even when retaliation is desired, millions of dollars and multiple careers are on the line. Ultimately, this story is about loyalty, betrayal, and the high cost of maintaining street ties while trying to succeed in the music industry. Lil Baby lost his best friend, allegedly to someone he considered a peer in the industry. 21 Savage allegedly ordered the hit via his young associate, Baby Drill, and then had the audacity to disrespect the deceased man on Baby's own album. Young Thug had to step in to prevent a citywide war in Atlanta, but the damage had already been done. The fact that they are all still making music and money despite this situation demonstrates the reality of how the industry functions. Sometimes, maintaining peace and professional relationships is considered more important than obtaining justice, particularly when millions of dollars are involved. However, the streets never forget. And that is why this story continues to be discussed years later. The way Baby stopped posting about Marlo and seemingly abandoned the pursuit of justice reveals everything you need to know about how industry politics can overrule street loyalty. That is the true story behind the 21 Savage and Lil Baby situation. Let me know in the comments what you think about how this whole thing played out. And make sure you subscribe for more content breaking down the real stories behind your favorite rappers.